Hi, it's Tanya from My Forking Life, and today we're in the kitchen making a delicious, quick and easy dinner recipe, and we're going to use our electric pressure cooker. Today we're going to make Instapot chicken and potatoes, and it's a delicious, hearty meal that can be made in about 30 minutes. It doesn't skip on the flavor, and it's a delicious chicken dish with potatoes and carrots, and we're going to make it all in one Instapot. So to get started, we're going to get all the ingredients together. I have got some chicken here. And I've got some chicken thighs and my chicken breast. I use both pieces of the chicken just because, why not? I've also got some whole potatoes, some baby carrots, got some chicken broth, salt and pepper and onion powder, a secret ingredient. Oh, it's not really secret. We're gonna use some poultry seasoning as well as some oil. And then when we're done cooking our original dish, we're going to thicken up some delicious gravy with some flour and water, but also some heavy cream. So let's get started. So to get this started, we're going to season our chicken first, and I'm going to use poultry seasoning as my main seasoning. Now you can pick this up in your grocery store, or you can make it on your own and keep it in a spice jar. I've got that recipe as well linked below. So what we're going to do is put a nice heaping tablespoon of that poultry seasoning over our chicken. Oop. That's a lot. I'm going to put a little bit of salt as well. Also going to put a little bit of onion powder and a little bit of fresh cracked black pepper. And we're going to make sure that seasoning is rubbed on both sides of our chicken. I am not afraid to put my hand into raw chicken. You shouldn't either if you're cooking it. I mean, just make sure you wash your hands like a mad person after you touched it. So now that I've got my chicken all seasoned and fully coated, I'm going to head over to our pressure cooker to go ahead and get these started. All right, so now we've got our Instapot and we are ready to get started cooking this dinner. So what we're going to do is we're going to set our Instapot to saute, and because I've hit saute, it's set on the more setting, meaning that's equivalent to a medium high heat, and that's perfect for searing. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait till our machine says hot before we continue with our meal, and that's going to take a few minutes. All right, so now that our machine says hot, we'll go ahead and add some oil to the middle of that pot. And I'm just using some olive oil, not the extra virgin kind, just the regular olive oil that's good for roasting and sauteing and all that other jazz. And now that I'll put a little bit more. Put a little bit to coat the bottom of that insert. I'm going to go ahead and add my chicken pieces. So I'm going to add a big old breast. I'm going to add maybe 2 of the thighs. And we don't want those to overlap. We want to give them a little bit of space so they can get a nice sear on them. And we're going to brown them for about 3 to 4 minutes each side. All right, so it's been about 4 minutes. And so you can see it's got a nice sear on that one side. We're going to turn our pieces over and continue to brown them. Now the reason why we're browning this chicken is because we want to build flavor into this dish. Now I've got a little bit of a secret. I do not brown all the pieces before I finish the dish. Generally you would brown in batches. Makes sense. However, sometimes I'll just do half of the batch and then I'll throw the rest of the stuff in the pot because anybody got time for all that. All right, so I've got my pieces browned on both sides, and I'm going to go ahead and remove the brown chicken. Set that on a plate. It's not fully cooked yet, so don't even try to eat it. They look like. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to deglaze our pan because we're going to get ready to do some pressure cooking. So we're going to use some chicken broth and we're going to pour that in. And we're going to use a wooden spoon to basically get up those brown bits. I usually just pour a little bit at first. Get as many brown bits as I can, and then I'm going to put the rest of it in there. Make sure all those brown bits are up. The reason why we're doing this and I'm obsessing about getting all these brown bits is because if anything is stuck to the bottom of this pot, there is a possibility that your machine will not rise to pressure and you might get what's called a bird signal. Now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and put the chicken that I wasn't able to brown. I'm going to put that in the bottom of the pot, as well as the chicken that I have browned. I'm going to grab that and put that there, as well as any juices that might be on the plate from when you browned it. Don't forget to cancel your saute function as well. So you just do that by pressing the off button. After we've done that, we're going to add our vegetables. So I've got some whole small red potatoes here. I'm just going to dump that on top of that chicken. And then I've got some baby carrots here as well. I'm going to dump that in there as well. And then I'm going to get the cover of my pressure cooker and I'm going to go ahead and put that on. And I'm going to make sure that my valve is set to seal before we do the other functions. All right, so now that we've got everything in our pressure cooker, we're going to go ahead and start it by pressing manual. Some machines have pressure cooker, either way. And we're going to set the timer down to 12 minutes. Essentially, this is high pressure and we're going to cook it on high pressure for 12 minutes. We'll be back. As you can see, the timer has just gone from on to 12 minutes. So our pressure cooker is cooking our chicken, and then when that timer goes off, we're going to go ahead and naturally release our chicken. All right, so our machine came to pressure, it cooked for 12 minutes, and after our timer went off, we let it naturally release for 10 minutes just by leaving it alone, not touching it, and switch the valve that's in sealing over to venting. What we're doing is we're waiting for this little teeny button at the top to go down, and it just did. And we're gonna go ahead and open the lid. Now what you've got is your dinner. It's almost done, but you've got your potatoes and your carrots. And I like to use this, I call it a spider strainer. I think that's what it's actually called. And I'm gonna get all of our meat and veggies out of the pressure cooker because I want to make a gravy. So I'm gonna just use that. As you can see, our food is cooked. There's our beautiful chicken. So as you can see, I've gotten all the chicken and the potatoes out and I've put those in a bowl, and I'm gonna go ahead and make a gravy in the pressure cooker as well. And we're just gonna use our forks to go in and shred. This is that breast. So we're shredding that breast, and then we can also shred that thigh meat. And that's why I use both breast and thighs, because thighs are just juicier than breasts. Breasts are, I don't know, I just feel like I gotta put them in the recipe. And we just use both of them, and it's just like a lovely combination of flavor and texture. It's like the perfect combination. Okay, so to think of my gravy, I use a combination of a flour water slurry as well as a little bit of heavy cream liquid. Whisk like your life depended on it. As you can see, that gravy is thickening up quite beautifully, and you want to cook it not too long. I probably cook it for a couple of minutes, 2 to 3 at most. And I'm going to whisk that in as well. Anytime we're adding something to it, we're going to make sure our whisk is ready to quickly add it in. Oh, that's beautiful gravy. I'm going to let that cook a little bit so that I can continue to thicken up, because I am going to, when this is the thickness that I want to, I'm just going to add my chicken back in there because all right, so our gravy has been cooking for a few minutes, and as you can see, it's not too watery, it's not too thick, it's nice and beautiful. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and add my chicken, my shredded chicken, back to that gravy. I'm gonna stir that in. And I'm gonna press cancel on my pressure cooker. It doesn't need to cook any longer. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and serve dinner. And we've got our potatoes and our carrots that are fully cooked and that we didn't have to use an extra pot for or anything like that. I'm gonna lay out a nice healthy serving of both potatoes and carrots. And then I'm also going to serve our delicious and yummy chicken with gravy. Yum. Such a quick, easy meal. You can do everything in the pressure cooker. Getting a little bit messy with it, y'all. And then an extra thing, like I said, if you don't feel like shredding the chicken, you don't have to shred the chicken. You could also, if you wanted to, you could also make mashed potatoes out of the potatoes if you want. I usually just keep them whole as well. We cut them in half and we eat them. But it's a really good meal and it's great if you've got leftovers, save it for later. Y'all, it's good. All right, until the next recipe, don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you like this video. Also subscribe for more quick and easy recipe ideas if you like this video. If you didn't like this video, I don't know what to say about that, but either way, maybe you should still subscribe if you didn't like this video. I've got a whole bunch more coming. All right, until the next time, bye.